Sense of adventure finally convinced her, leave, she's not around. Dagan's too young to be out of school, and she's too old to be found. There were no goodbyes, she left so fast, words got stuck in her throat. Didn't think it would last, but her birthday passed. I wear her memory like a coat. And I come across town to look for my daughter. Got a suitcase with some of her things. She's too young, I should have caught her, but she flew through here on wings. Houses are past, graffiti, broken glass, and darkness fills me with doubt. I'm never gonna find my angel when some devil knocked the porch lights out. I wanna shout, Digging, you've been taken by decisions you've been making, and girl, it's hard to believe we couldn't stop you from breaking. We just stood there and watched you leave. Doo-doo, yeah. Don't know how not to miss her, talking, digging, after and before. Closed her eyes and rationalized, maybe it's her time to soar. There's always a key in her pocket to all of those bridges she crossed. Just because her path was different doesn't mean she was lost. And I hope on hope, I'm looking for Dagan. Maybe she's back in town. She's too young to be out of school, and she's too old to be found. Neighborhoods are past, graffiti, broken glass, and darkness fills me with doubt. I'm never gonna find my angel when some devil knocked the porch lights out. I wanna shout, Digging, you've been taken by decisions you've been making, and girl, it's hard to believe.
And hello everybody, I want to thank you for joining us for Festival Sessions as we celebrate 50 years of music with Roanoke Festival in the Park, and I'm proud to be here with longtime partner of Festival in the Park and current executive director, Mr. Skip Brown, and also longtime festival friend and festival performer, Mickey Nelson, who you just heard with his song, Porch Lights. And Skip, let's just get right into it as we're here to celebrate 50 years of Festival in the Park. Tell us how Festival began 50 years ago.
Back 51 actually years ago, a sidewalk art show had a traveling walking musician. And that was sort of the impetus that got the whole thing started. 501c3 application was put in 1968, granted in 1969, and as they say, the rest is history.
And who was the first band that we know?
Well, we know that the Kings were one of the very first bands in terms of full bands, but you know, I've gone back over all the records, and we have about 500 separate musicians and performers who performed at festivals since 1968.
That's amazing. And for you personally, how long have you been involved?
Well, I started in 1970. I think it was 1978 or 1979.
That's amazing.
And I played on every stage. So I'm one of the classic start on the little stage and work your way up to the big stage. And I think Mickey, same thing with you.
Same thing.
Start at the little stage and work your way up. We're well known in the music industry. When I call to book the headliners, I say it's Skip Brown Festival in the Park. Oh yeah, who do you want this year? We don't have to go through the tap dance. They know us. Our feeder system is well known in the industry, and we've actually had people who started on the little stage, the gazebo, and have come back from Nashville as a headliner.
That's pretty awesome progression, festival progression, as we like to call it
sure
sometimes.
is.
Now,
Second oldest in the United States.
that's pretty amazing. in
Only
itself.
beaten by the Philadelphia Folk Festival by 1 year.
50 years consecutively. That's a long time.
Yeah, but they
for a
only do
festival.
folk music, so I don't count that.
Well, now, Mickey, how long have you been involved in
I
festival?
think
and
it's
park?
been about 45 years.
That's pretty awesome as well. You were telling me a little bit of a story about the song you performed, Porch Lights. You want to tell us a little bit behind that song that you just performed?
Yes, it's my newest song, and it's about a young lady that disappeared down the street. She was 17 years old, and her dad's looking for her, and they've had some hits on her. So she's still hanging in there, but she just doesn't want to come home. And she was a straight A student and a very good young lady, so they let her go, thinking she would be back, and it might have been her time to soar, and it's about that.
Gotcha. And we'll hear from Mickey in just a few more minutes as well to close out the session. I do want to ask both of you, since you have numerous years of experience with festival. Mickey, let's start with you. What is your favorite memory or experience with all your years of Festival in the Park?
Gosh, there's so many. I think maybe my favorite was 8 or 9 years ago in a torrential rain. I was playing the amphitheater, and I was playing with Valerie McQueen, a girl from Stanton that I sang with, and we were getting drenched as was the small crowd that was there at that time, and we started the song, "Here Comes the Rain Again," and the people just exploded. It was really it's the thing I remember, I guess, just because it was such a wet day.
That's pretty cool. Now, what does it mean to you to come back and play for us every year on the main stage?
Well, it's home, and it's like a tradition almost now, and they have a great sound system on the stages that I play in there, and Stage Sound does a really nice job with that. They're just all over the East Coast, and it's nice to have them here in Roanoke.
Absolutely. Skip, what's your favorite memory of all your years?
Well, my favorite memory was 2002, Victory Stadium. It was one of our last Victory Stadium shows. And I had booked Charlie Daniels, and I actually booked him on September 11th. I was sitting in my office, and everything came to a grinding halt. And I thought, okay, how do we recover from this? And so I called Charlie's people and actually got him. And he was sitting there, he was watching the TV, and I said, "I'd love to have you come. And here's the date," and he said, "Mark me in, I'm there." So that was probably one of the most memorable. And then, I know we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the history of festival. Looking back to those Victory Stadium years, believe it or not, we used to go over and set up an entire show at Victory Stadium, play it Friday night, take it all down in the middle of the night, put it in trucks, drive it to Elmwood, put it all up Saturday, have a show all day Saturday and a concert Saturday night, show all day Sunday, a show Sunday night, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we would do something in Elmwood, and then we would take it all down and drive it back to Victory Stadium and do another big concert Friday night, put it all in the trucks, drive it back, and do Saturday, Sunday, and Monday Memorial Day.
And you're not talking, back then we didn't have the portable drive-in stages. That was full stage, full roof system, many hours, many people.
All night. It was
all
just,
night.
I mean, we were totally exhausted. And of course, subsequently we've condensed it down into something that's a bit more manageable. But boy, you want to talk about 100 people working all through the night and all of that audio cable. And of course, there were no lights anywhere. We had 2 or 3 work lights, but when that sun crested at Elmwood Park and we could actually see what we had done and had most of it right, and scaffolding was put up and speakers had been lifted back up onto the scaffolding. Nothing like the cranes and the chains that we use today.
Or our beautiful new amphitheater that
Oh,
we don't have to build
absolutely.
any of that anymore for.
Absolutely.
So we really appreciate that from the city standpoint, our beautiful new Elmwood Park. I did want to touch on, while we're here, if we're here at the spot on Kirk, I want to thank them so much for letting us, the folks, Jamie and Bruce, for letting us be here. on this Sunday to record. If you haven't been down here, please check them out, The Spot on Kirk. And Mickey, you mentioned it, Stage Sound. They have been a partner of Festival in the Park. They are celebrating an anniversary this year as well. They have been in business now for 40 years, and they've been the audio provider for Festival every single year they've been in business. And even the owner and president, Reed Hinion, goes back even further than that before he was incorporated as Stage Sound. So a lot of history there. We want to thank them as well because they helped us with our equipment here today. So a big thank you to The Spot, and a big thank you to Stage Sound and Reed Hinion and those folks as they're celebrating 40 years right along our 50. So I want to thank them for that. And one more song before we get out of here from Mickey. We're going to hear Not a Race. You got anything you want to tell us about that song before we get to it?
It's a fairly new song, about 5 months ago, and it's just trying to write something current. And I see a lot of television advertisements for kids that need help, that are refugees, that are poor, that are hungry, and it's just kind of it's written from that perspective. Just we are a species, not a race.
Perfect. Well, thank you both for being here today. We'll look forward to seeing you, Mickey, on May 27th, the main stage at 2 p.m. at the 50th Festival in the Park. So thank you both for being here. And right now, let's hear from Mickey Nelson and Not a Race.
Group of strangers, wet to the feet, from a warscape to a seascape. Now there are only waves to beat, but the waves can take their toll out there on the sea, when the boat is much too small for so many refugees. Flee to a place of safety, will to survive, begging in the rain to keep the dream alive. If we could only travel, see what's left of their homes, the anger might unravel like a flag in a storm. We need God, not religion. We need a leader, not a face. We are a planet, not some border. We are a species, not a race. We see the documentary, but we'd never give a story about a brother and a sister just trying to live away from some mad leader to seek community. But maybe not right here, right now, in our community. We need God, not religion. We need a leader, not a face. We are a planet, not some border. We are a species, not a race. Morning brings a calm, sometime without a prayer. There's gotta be a better place, somewhere out there. So bring the blanket, grab a coat, and run through the sand. And place your child upon a boat when water's safer than land. You need God, not religion. We need a leader, not a face. We are a planet, not some border. We are a species, not a race. And you need God, not religion. We need a leader, not a face. We are a planet, not some border. We are a species.